Alright, it's time for vlog number 2. And I was thinking about it, and I totally skipped something. I was thinking that I should tell the story of why I've decided to go into equine therapy. I mean, my vlog probably won't every single time be about equine therapy, but, about something to learn, or, something inspirational, whatever. But this time I thought I should tell the story of why I've decided to go into equine therapy, because I'm so passionate about it. So, one summer, it was the summer after I graduated high school actually, I was on a pack trip with my younger brother in the Cascade Mountains, and I was offered a job. And I was offered a job on a ranch, which is not something I ever thought that I would end up doing, but I fell in love with it. I'd been riding horses for pretty much my whole life, and I loved living on a ranch, so it was perfect. So I loved it. So I was working on this ranch, and this ranch did equine therapy, I think twice a week or something like that. Some people would come out, and a therapist would come out, and they'd work with the kids, and I didn't know much about it, so I was asking my boss how they chose the horses to work with the kids. And he said, well, we use the horses that are the most well-behaved, that are so old and pretty dead, and just really, really tame. And I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. You want it to be safe. And he was like, yeah, and a broken horse can't fix a broken person, just like a broken person can't fix a broken horse. And that, broke my heart. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, you have me here, and I'm training horses for you, and I'm a broken person. I was at this point in my life where just everything was so bad. I mean, it seemed so bad. I was an 18-year-old girl, so obviously I was, still angsty, but it just seemed bad. Things were bad. And I was training this horse, and I was training the horse that I was told was the worst horse. They were like, if you can't do anything with that horse, she's going to the glue factory, which is a terrible thing. So I was working with this horse, and that had me totally freaked out, because I was pretty new. And progress with this horse was slow. She's a tough horse. They call her Nightmare, in fact. So I was working with this horse, and that day that statement, the fact that a broken horse can't fix a broken person, and a broken person can't fix a broken horse, it got me. I was upset. So I went down to my teepee. I was living in a teepee, by the way. I went down to my teepee, which was right next to the corral, the pasture that we had that opened up into our big open pasture that was a couple hundred acres, and all our horses were out on pasture, whatever. So I went down to my teepee. And all of our horses were out on pasture, and I was upset and whatever, and I was in my room, or my teepee, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter. If I don't fix this horse, then, I'll get someone else to fix her. If I can't fix this horse, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad horse trainer. If I kept on telling myself these things, because I was like, oh my gosh, this guy has worked with horses, and he's been working with this equine therapist, and he knows all about this. He obviously knows. So I walked out of my teepee, and there was my horse, which was weird, because horses are herd animals, and the entire herd was nowhere to be seen, far, far away, or nowhere to be heard even, okay? And I walked out, and there was my horse, and she generally would run away if you tried to walk up to her, and so I was like, I won't even bother. But so I started to walk away, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna walk up to my horse. So I went over, and I walked over to her, and she didn't run away. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But she didn't run away, and then she also came and put her head right on my chest. Which is, for a lot of horses, especially this horse, an indication of trust. Which was huge. It was huge to me. Because I was like, I'm broken, and she's broken, and it's okay. She just put her head right on my chest, and it was this crazy coincidence. Not coincidence, but this crazy thing that happened where she stuck around, and she wasn't with the herd, and she was there when I needed her to be there, and showed me that it could be okay. And by the end of the summer, she was so well trained. I could stand up on her back. I could People would be snapping bull whips around her, and she was fine. She was solid, and I was so much less broken by the end of that summer, and she was so much less broken. I mean, we both still had our little issues and our our idiosyncrasies and our own little problems, but it wasn't that huge gaping hole that we had, that brokenness that was gone. And it was amazing to me, because I was a broken horse, or I was a broken person, excuse me, and she was a broken horse, and we were able to fix each other. We worked together, and we were able to form this connection. And I learned more about equine therapy on my own. I didn't ask anyone else. I started to learn about it by myself, and I was, and I want to do that. I want people to be able to, feel that connection with an animal and see the progress that the animal has made, and be able to see the progress that they've made and line it up, that they personally have made, and be like, my horse trusts me, and I trust my horse, and I don't trust anybody, and that horse doesn't trust anybody, and and just be able to have that change, because it's visual. It's a visual change. So not only do you feel better, you can see that things are better, and it's amazing, and life changing, and everything good. It is everything good. And so that is why I want to go into equine therapy, because I was able to, because horses saved my life, and if they saved my life, horse therapy is not going to be for everybody. Equine therapy is not going to be the right route for everybody, but for so many people, it can change their world. It can change their whole life. And so that's why I want to do it. That's why I want to do it. So there's my story. Happy Saturday. I hope. Yeah. Anyway, that's my story. Bye.